Good. All right, guys, let's go back into our mailbag segment here. Okay, Doc, here we go. You're always talking about eating healthy eating. Sugar or high fructose corn syrup, which one is better for you and why? All right, this is an interesting one. So, when high fructose corn syrup came on the market, the idea was it didn't spike your blood sugar. It kept blood sugar kind of level. So they thought, oh my gosh, it doesn't raise blood sugar. This has got to be the greatest thing we've ever discovered. And so they started pumping it into the food chain like crazy. Well, as we've learned over time, oops, made a mistake there. It's always good to study things before you get a little too rambunctious. They started pulling sugar out, telling you all the ills of it and all the horrible things it does, and now we can use high fructose corn syrup because look, it does nothing. Well, there's a problem. High fructose corn syrup and sugar are slightly different. They're both sugars, but we're talking about table sugar here, okay? Cane sugar, something of that nature. Now, cane sugar in its raw form, when it looks dirty and brown and all that kind of stuff, it's got all kinds of minerals in it and vitamins and all this stuff. Once they remove the impurities, the vitamins, the minerals, the enzymes, the things you actually need, once they take those out, now you're sitting there basically with just nothing but a pure rocket fuel. But it's still, when you break sugar down, it breaks down into a kind of a glucose molecule and a fructose, or sucrose in this case. And so when we look at that, we say, okay, what's the difference between table sugar and high fructose corn syrup? The high fructose corn syrup has a lot of fructose in it. A lot. Now we think, well, that's great because it doesn't raise blood sugar, but there's a problem. There's only one organ in the body that can break it down. Only one. And so when you look at table sugar, when it comes into the body, every cell in the body gets a shot at it. So if Paulie's sitting there looking at a svelte 165 pounds right now, if he's sitting there and he brings in a pound of sugar into that body, he's got 165 pounds of cells that are going to take a shot at it. But if he brings in a pound of high fructose corn syrup, only the liver gets a shot at it.
My liver takes a beating to begin with.
That's why I chose it for you. So only the liver gets a shot at this thing. So your liver, you figure, all right, a heavy liver, 5 pounds, at most. So if we got a little 5-pound liver and he's saying, man, I got to do the work that 160, 70, 80, 90-pound body would normally do. I have to do this? It's too hard on it. And what ends up happening is you overwork the liver. When you overwork the liver, all that sugar now has to get stored as a fat molecule. And so it gets released as a fat in the liver. Now all of a sudden we end up with something that they like to call now an alcoholic fatty liver disorder or liver disease. There's a reason why it's exponentially on the rise, not in us, in our kids. Because all they're eating is high fructose corn syrup. And so now we're seeing adult fatty liver disease showing up in kids 18 and under. How do you fix it? Get the high fructose corn syrup out. So if you're sitting there and you're like, gosh, which one should I eat? Go for the table sugar. It's better for you than the high fructose corn syrup. But there's a caveat. You can't just blindly feed, or you'll get into trouble. Pick and choose your battles. Use sugar as treats. It's okay to have it, just use it as a treat, like hawking a donut. It's all good.
Yes, he's a lot calmer now.
Much calmer, much more tranquil.